Welcome to a new Boxing Showdown video. This time, we're going to talk about one of the biggest British boxing matches in recent years. Two sons of legends face each other, making boxing history. Chris Eubank Jr. vs Conor Benn, a high-tension fight with bitterness. Who will win? Let's see. First, let's talk about Chris Eubank Jr. Born on September 18, 1989, in Hove, England, Chris Eubank Jr. is the son of legendary world champion Chris Eubank Sr. From a young age, the pressure of his family name plagued him, but it also opened doors for him. During his teenage years, he moved to the United States with his brother, seeking new opportunities. There, in Las Vegas, he trained as an amateur boxer and attended Spring Valley High School. The goal was clear: to become a star in the ring. Boxing start. He debuted as an amateur in 2007 and quickly showed his potential, winning tournaments like the Nevada Golden Gloves. He closed his amateur career with a solid 24-2 record. In 2011, he made the jump to professional status and hasn't stopped making waves ever since. He was the WBA interim middleweight champion, the IBO super middleweight champion, and in 2024, he regained the IBO middleweight belt. Not bad, huh? Boxing style. Eubank Jr. fights from an orthodox stance. He's fast, mobile, with great stamina and a steady rhythm that tires out his opponents. Although he has power, some critics say he lacks punching power in key fights. Still, his technique and aggression make him dangerous at any moment. Professional record. He has fought 37 professional bouts so far. The result? 34 wins, 25 of them by knockout, and only 3 losses, all against world champions, Billy Joe Saunders, George Groves, and Liam Smith. Trainers. He has worked with big names, and recently changed corners. He left Brian "Bo" McIntyre, with whom he defeated Liam Smith in 2024, and now trains under the tutelage of Jonathan Banks, the same man who worked with Gennady Golovkin. The goal? To increase his punching power. Feud with Conor Benn. When it comes to rivalries, his rivalry with Conor Benn steals the spotlight. Both are sons of British boxing legends, and their paths were destined to cross. The fight was scheduled for 2022, but Benn tested positive for doping, and everything fell apart. Since then, the verbal exchanges and provocations have been constant. Remember the famous egg? Yes, it was Eubank Jr. in the midst of the scandal. Now, the wait is over. On April 26, 2025, they will finally face each other at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Is their legacy at stake? Maybe so. Eubank Jr. has not been free of controversy. He has been fined over €100,000 for inappropriate conduct and has clashed with promoters such as Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. In and out of the ring, he always puts on a show. Chris Eubank Jr. is more than the son of a legend. He is a technical, charismatic, and controversial boxer, with a career that continues to garner attention. Will he finally achieve the recognition he so desperately seeks? Only time, and the ring, will tell. Let's talk about Conor Benn. The warrior forged between luxury and struggle. Conor Nigel Benn was born on September 28, 1996, in Greenwich, London, to the legendary Nigel Benn, a two-division world champion. Although he grew up surrounded by luxury in Mallorca, Spain, with a mansion that included a swimming pool and even a jacuzzi in his room, his childhood was not a life of luxury. His father instilled in him the value of hard work and self-sufficiency, refusing to give him money. Conor earned a living painting and decorating for €20 a day, an experience that shaped him before embarking on a journey that would change his destiny. After living in Australia, where he took his first steps in amateur boxing, Benn returned to the United Kingdom to begin his professional career. On April 19, 2016, he made his debut with a technical knockout against Ivailo Boyanov at London's O2 Arena. Since then, his rise has been meteoric. He remains undefeated with 23 wins, 14 by KO, and has defended the WBA Continental title multiple times, facing names like Chris Algieri and Chris Van Heerden. In 2022, his career suffered a severe blow. He tested positive for clomiphene, canceling his long-awaited fight against Chris Eubank Jr. and leaving him temporarily suspended. For more than 2 years, he fought legally to clear his name, while the media spotlight focused on him. Finally, in November 2023, he returned to the ring with 2 victories against Rodolfo Orozco and Peter Dobson, proving he was far from finished. Conor is an aggressive boxer who relentlessly pressures from the first bell. He attacks with quick combinations and relentlessly punishes his opponent's body. Although some critics question his tactical ability against opponents like Vergil Ortiz Jr., his fighting style connects with fans due to its intensity and emotion. From the beginning, he has been under the tutelage of Tony Sims, a trainer who also served as his father's sparring partner. Sims has been instrumental in molding Benn into an explosive yet increasingly adaptable fighter in the ring. A crucial part of his narrative is his rivalry with Chris Eubank Jr., son of his father's archrival. The story between the two is almost poetic. The fathers had memorable fights in the 1990s, and now the sons inherit the rivalry. The fight between them was supposed to take place in October 2022, but the doping scandal halted it. A media controversy even erupted when Eubank Jr. threw an egg, referring to the alleged cause of the positive test, excessive egg consumption, according to Benn's defense. The fight will ultimately take place on April 26, 2025, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Benn will fight for the first time at middleweight, 160 pounds, facing the more experienced and powerful Eubank Jr. The tension between the two has been palpable in every face-to-face, raising the hype to new heights. Outside the ring, Benn has not been exempt from controversy. Beyond the doping scandal, his direct and provocative statements have earned him both admirers and detractors. However, this has helped consolidate his status as one of the most notorious names in British boxing today. Conor Benn represents a blend of talent, charisma, and controversy. With a history marked by family legacy, personal challenges, and a storied rivalry, his upcoming fight against Chris Eubank Jr. is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated moments in boxing in 2025. We've reached the most anticipated part of the video, the fight prediction. Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn will face off on April 26, 2025, at the imposing Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A duel steeped in family history, pride, and 2 completely opposite fighting styles. But the big question is, who will come out on top? Let's break it down. Chris Eubank Jr.'s advantages. Eubank Jr. comes with an arsenal of advantages that we can't ignore. Weight advantage. While Benn moves up 2 weight classes for this fight, Eubank Jr. is a natural, strong middleweight, accustomed to taking and throwing punches in that weight class. In short, he's playing at home. Elite background, 37 fights, big names like George Groves, Billy Joe Saunders, and James DeGale under his belt. Eubank has been in wars and knows how to survive in hostile territory. Calculating style, with his firm jab, surgical uppercuts, and a great ability to maintain rhythm, Eubank Jr. can turn the fight into a chess match where every mistake by Benn will cost him dearly. But let's not give up on Conor, because this guy isn't here to box, he's here to destroy. Pure aggression, Benn doesn't mess around. From the first second, he'll look to break Eubank's guard with explosive combinations. If he can land cleanly before the 6th round, things could get very ugly for Jr. Youth and energy. He's 28 years old and has a full tank of gas. While Eubank is racking up the miles, Benn represents the intensity of a new generation. Steel confidence. His father, Nigel Benn, has no doubt Conor is going to demolish him in 4 rounds. Too optimistic? Maybe. But when you believe in yourself 100%, you can do great things. Or at least make them very dangerous. The boxing legend declared. And what do the data and the voices of boxing say? Wayne Alexander, former European champion, weight will be key. Eubank will win on points, or even by KO in the later rounds. Eddie Hearn says it clearly, Benn is more talented, but the physical difference is real. And that can change everything. After analyzing all the factors, our prediction is, Chris Eubank Jr. will win by unanimous decision. Benn will give it his all and try to knock out in the early rounds, but if Eubank survives that storm, his experience, resilience, and ring control will lead him to dominate the final rounds. Either way, prepare for a fight that goes beyond boxing. It's a story of blood, legacy, and redemption. And we'll be there to tell it.